Whoa, the Darkstream, ass-eating queef.
Away we go. Ooh, what's that card being featured right there?
Deadhead.
Deadhead.
We've got
old unglued.
We've got Doomsday as our round 3 against Blazing Oath, which is currently sitting 2-0. And we are rolling in with Oath on the play, Mulligan 1 card versus Doomsday no mole.
That is correct. No mole. A lot of contemplation on that, but no mole in the end.
A lot of thinking.
Yes, there's much work and thought to be had.
I know that the card that I put on the bottom of the library was a creature.
Oh, that's distinctly nice.
And then, yep, I look at 2 more things that need to go on the bottom and immediately put them there.
And one of them I saw was a creature.
Yep. So the bottom of the deck is 2 creatures and Gaia's Blessing. But I have a land-heavy hand, and I have a Brainstorm, so I know I have to shuffle the deck.
Yeah, okay. It's a great place to just have, I know where the creatures are. Right.
The mulligans sometimes with Oath are just so hot.
And there we go with Polluted Delta from Doomsday.
Yeah, it was an interesting thought here of, all right, I can go into this, but there's a good chance that they've got a Wasteland or a Strip Mine. I don't want to just put myself back multiple turns when they're already on the play. Let's wait. And then, of course...
As you can see, I top decked a Strip Mine.
That was, it's just, it didn't matter what I was thinking. Right. We'll have that killed no matter what.
It will die.
Just like, all right, at least I get mana into my turn. Now, this was a telling moment as I had to go through and decide, well, do I just put out the double land and hope that they don't have Strip Mine into Wasteland, or play it really safe and slow? Something told me that safe and slow was not the way to go.
No, it's Doomsday. You go hard and fast.
I think against Oath, the Doomsday is definitely the aggro.
That was what I ended up coming to the conclusion on. A lot of decks, Doomsday's like, wait for it. It's over, I won. Oh, you missed it. It's Turtle in the Hair. Ooh, white bordered, good choice.
Very vintage.
So vintage.
I used to have a play set of those.
I think I did too.
I had a play set of, Unlimited? Yeah, that was awesome.
So that's a sleight of hand. Is that because sometimes in your Doomsday piles you need to get around Narset?
That is absolutely correct. This allows you to arrange your deck so that you can dodge Narsetting and still win. In that situation, you utilize a fetch land and a non-basic to just thin your deck down.
So this was a pretty aggressive Street Wraith. What was the logic on that?
I didn't care against what they were doing, and I wanted to see what other cards I had coming up. Like, if that next card was just an extra land on top, I was going to play really loose in there. And it was. It was just, okay, I don't care anymore. I'll do whatever I want. Because if I didn't have that knowledge, then I'm potentially setting myself up for the Strip Mine Wasteland.
And as you're watching, maybe you've watched the other videos. If you haven't, you can check those out, and we do a breakdown of the Oath deck. We didn't do that this time because we've done it twice, but there's been discussion each time of swapping out the Minsc and Boo for a third copy of Wrenn and Six. And I had the Minsc and Boo in my hand from the very beginning, and this was the first game where I was like, I absolutely wish this was a Wrenn and Six.
Next time we'll tell. Next time we'll tell.
Well, next time it'll still be the same list.
Oh, wait, yeah, no. The next iteration will tell.
The next iteration of Blazing Oath.
All right, so we have an Imperial Seal here. What do you?
I will tell you exactly what I went and got. Another land.
Look at you.
I kid you not. That was for another land.
That was what I suspected.
I just wanted to go for the complete safety net since there was not a lot of threat here, and I believe I still had 2 Force of Wills in my hand at this point, or Force Negation and a Force of Will. So I was like, I can sit back. I'll play this game. I will hard cast to just draw spells or other things. Because I did have I had the Necro too in hand, I think was what was in there as well.
Oh, right.
So it was kind of a play. My original plan was play for the Necro and just let that be killed and then go for things. That's what I was thinking. But again, there's still so many things that happen in these first few turns of every game. You just got to think through them.
Yeah, the opening turns of definitely Oath against Doomsday, but to some degree, every deck against Doomsday are eventful.
Beautiful Preordain.
That's
one's
a Brainstorm.
Oh, that's a Brainstorm.
Yep. This was main phasing my Brainstorm because I wanted to see what my draw was before I shuffled shit away.
Okay.
What I was hoping to see was a Wasteland so I could completely fuck you over here.
I think I knew how you were thinking, and that was my Imperial Seals moment.
Right.
So I'm very glad you didn't have the Wrenn and Six to just put the lockdown on with the strip mine.
And I wound up putting back to shuffle away Taiga and Force of Vigor. Thinking like, well, there's 3 Forces of Vigor in here. There's only 1 like Necropotence in there. I don't care that much about the Moxes.
Oh, brutal.
So, I mean, I still think it's correct. We're about to see Necropotence happen. But I wanted more counters. And I wanted access to Wrenn and Six. And I wanted, like, failing that, a Wasteland.
I've figured out, by the way, how to, on video, shuffle your hand so everyone still knows what's going on. As you'll notice, I keep doing the splay out of my cards. I'll drop them into a just... It's like shuffling, but then everyone has to still watch it because it's on camera.
I see you scraping the little bits of hand grime off them.
Yes, that's still the problem with Magic sleeves. When are they going to invent sleeves that don't hand grime?
Never. Then they wouldn't have a market to sell more
No,
sleeves.
they did. They're on all the arena decks. You can't get hand grime on those sleeves.
There we go. I need some better sleeves on there.
Clean sleeves forever. Look at how much money is represented on this board.
So
in lands.
over the weekend, I may have hit some death sticks and crafted all 2,000 wild cards of commons and uncommons that I had saved up on Arena.
Are you serious?
Wow.
Well,
I still don't have everything.
you still...
I'm so close, but I don't have it all.
Oh, wow. Bet you're missing a lot of the Magic main set side stuff that isn't in any packs. There's a lot of that.
Yeah.
Do you just click on, like, what do I not have collected, and then just sit there giggling and crafting?
Maybe. I may have done that for 2, maybe 3 hours.
I turned it on to not collected, and then I clicked every single card that's there, and then I just started crafting until I ran out.
And then my computer said no more, and I went, I don't want to play, though.
Pretty
All right.
much.
Demonic Consultation. This is always fun when this spell goes on the stack. Like, it can always be so crazy.
I was thinking of holding it back to go with the Thassa's Oracle plan, but...
And this was a consultation for Dark Ritual.
This was for Dark Ritual, but I have the Thassa's Oracle in hand, the second one. The other one's in the library right now. I was disappointed to see that duress there, and
that wound up making decisions a bit more difficult for you.
Yes, because definitely the life totals were now in a more dire straits sort of way.
And this is the exile pile from Consultation we splayed out just so that anybody viewing can see what was exiled, what information we're working with here.
And as you can see, there is a Time Walk in there.
The Time Walk and the Duress, I think, were the most consequential.
I do feel good about playing Necro again.
Every time a Necro resolves, like even if it resolves against me, it still feels cool.
I had really thought, okay, game winning. This is going to get Force of Vigor right now.
One turn ago, it would have.
Instead, we went for Force of Will.
It's the fight for forces.
One's just not enough sometimes.
Oftentimes against Doomsday, one counterspell isn't enough.
Yes, that is Doomsday's advantage. Is you usually need 2 routes to protect to be able to fight most of their plans. And if you sit too long, they can set their hand out to fight 3.
It's really a beautiful combo deck.
Yeah, in many ways, against a lot of decks running against Doomsday, you are the aggro. This is probably one of the rare matchups where that's not true.
Mm-hmm. This was the I double looked at the board like, wait, I don't have a creature. There's no Forbidden Orchard for just like
No, it's just hopefully it'll matter someday.
I mean, I looked at that board and thought, man, I miss this era of Magic. Oath and Necro, these were cool eras of combo.
These were cool cards to have in play.
we haven't had a cool combo deck in a minute, so yeah, I somewhat miss that.
You're just looking at that Minsc and Boo, just like
looking at that Minsc and Boo, looking at your life total, like if you go down to like 4 and can't counter this, I'll kill you.
Which
Oh no, I'm an old school affinity player. I count life. Long things.
The life total gets low enough here.
Yeah, it goes to 3 because Doomsday.
Mm-hmm. And now we can have the next most exciting part of how to play Magic.
So at this point, I'm thinking like, yeah, you're going to Doomsday. You're probably going to go to 3. You probably have like, maybe not Force of Will yet because you just kind of blew some out doing that shit. So my hope was that you were going to rely on like Flusterstorm or something to win, or that because I'm Oath, I can't just haste a creature down.
Now, the contemplation here, a long time of what my thing is which we can fast forward a bit on it, is me looking for that duress and going, where is this? Do I just not know the art?
Where's that duress? Where'd it go?
It's not the classic art, too, which threw me off further. So.
Blah, blah, blah. Did we eventually... Okay. Wait,
there we go.
Something's happening.
All right.
Double dip. I haven't seen this one before.
Yeah.
The beginning of the next game.
I like that. That's fun. I also like the character on it. If I dyed my beer white, I could pull that off.
Yeah, you really could. Nice.
And have no fears, I will.
And it's a senile old man
Show
with
my
a bunch of ice cream, including in his pocket.
Ooh, that's great.
So he looks qualified to run a very large organization.
Most
Probably the
definitely.
United States, yeah.
Why not?
I love that. Here's my library. I put 1 over to go to 2. And this is where I've arranged myself. So I've got a Force of Will in hand. And my other card I've got to utilize is the Flusterstorm to make sure that I'm safe to not just accidentally die.
And my only play here is counter this or you lose.
You got it, boo?
To it. There's the Force getting rid of the Mental Misstep that I cannot use.
Putting you to exactly 1 life.
Right.
Correct.
Oh, Doomsday.
Math. It's amazing. And now you can see all the cards that I went for, just so you can see it's the easy. Ta-da! And there's the Lotus and the Thassa to wrap the game up very soundly.
Huzzah.
There's the extra Flusterstorm sitting in hand.
So yeah, had that been a Wrenn and Six from the beginning of the game, I don't think that that's necessarily a win for Doomsday. I don't know that Oath pulls out the win there, but the game changes a bit.
Yeah, I've got to take... If you played that on turn 2 or turn 3, my strategy has to change drastically.
Yeah. So we go to sideboarding.
Yep, I opt not to side in any cards in this situation, simply because don't need creature kill against you. I'm not really playing that plan. I'm not planning to kill my own creatures, and I don't want the extra win con of Shieldred because, oops, I accidentally lose to Atraxa.
Yeah, here I took out the Archon, the Forces, the Minsc and Boo, and the Explosives for those cards. The 2 Flusterstorms, 2 Pyroblast, 1 Lightning Bolt, 1 Veil of Summer.
Veil of Summer. So good. So very good.
So very good. And the Lightning Bolt might seem counterintuitive to some people, but there's a lot of places where it will randomly win the game. Sometimes it kills Thassa's Oracle with the ability on the stack, and they still have a card or 2 left in the library, and it wins because of that. Sometimes they go to 3 or less life in the course of trying to win the game. You fight it out over their win condition. They put it on the stack, and you kill them. That's another way. Sometimes it just messes their math up and buys you time.
And just the overall threat of, if I know you're lightning bolting, I've got to play cautiously around it. Even if I don't know if it's there, I've got to play around that option until I'm desperate. Because Oath often has 1 or 2 of those just floating around in the 75.
Deadhead making another appearance on the old Darkstream viewfinder. I have no idea why.
What about some death sticks?
Sort of looks like Otto from The Simpsons as a zombie.
Hey, man.
Yeah, I could see that.
What?
Deadheads. Oh, good old Grateful Dead.
Do we have any mulligans in this game?
I do not end up mulliganing in it.
I don't remember. I think I do. I think I mulligan in most of these games. Maybe not this one.
No, I believe there is another mulligan in this one. I believe that you know exactly what's there. Even I think a Gaia's Blessing is put on the bottom, if I'm correct. Or maybe that's game.
No. The Gaia's Blessing goes later on off of a Preordain.
That was last game.
Oh, that was last game. Sorry.
That was last game. There is at some point, and it wasn't this one. This one I had Atraxa.
Okay.
So I'm down to 2 Atraxas as my creatures. I had one in the hand, but it was backing up a Force of Will, so I decided to keep the hand. And the rest of the hand was pretty good.
That is the beauty of Atraxa. It does pitch.
Mm-hmm. And that's actually why I took the Archon out here, because it's not really that much faster against Doomsday, and you can't pitch it.
And overall, as the two things, the Atraxa is likely, if it hits, going to get you the cards to get around the combo, whereas the Archon is doing the, well, if you're
Archon
low enough, just kills you.
Archon just has to win fast. Mm-hmm. Although the discard doesn't hurt. Like the draw, the discard, the 3 life, it's all relevant.
This hand was a slower controlling hand where it's, okay, I'm going to have to see what a couple of my draws are to see if I get the pieces to go off or if I've just got to sit back. And my main fear, of course, always being, well, what if there's just multiple LD?
What if?
There's a lot of thought involved in just not playing a land on turn 1.
This is, why the basics are so good in Vintage. So many times where I'm playing LD and somebody opens with a Mox, I'm like, come on, play a land.
Play a land.
Play a land. Just one.
Don't worry, I'll
just for a second, just see how it feels.
I'll top bottom and
the good old top bottom.
What do I play here? Do I play an Underground Sea?
I think you go straight for it. Yeah.
Okay. I was feeling a bit ballsy after game 1. Huzzah!
A lot of thinking that goes into this land drop.
There, yeah.
Oh no!
No, I did end up going the safe route. I did end up on the safety decision and not casting any more spells on turn 1. I so much contemplation. There's so much thought in there. I make faces at the camera because I had to think too much.
Clearly.
I did have the Wasteland.
Okay. And let's see, is this it's a Forbidden
Oath.
Orchard?
Yeah, it's
and
turn 2 Oath.
I just want to making sure I know the artworks on those.
That's the best one.
Oh yeah. Here, that magical volcanic island. The not oft searched. Which do you think gets searched more, the Taiga or the volcanic?
The volcanic.
Okay.
The Taiga rarely happens. That's kind of a corner case thing that happens with Wrenn and Six usually.
My evil little spirit token, the Oath. Let's see if we can stop the Oath here. The thought is, all right, fine. Counter your silly Oath thing. And there's the force back. I did have the ability to go a different route with my cards. I think I had another blue card in my hand and a force or something. But there was some reason that I didn't. I think it was that I wanted to try and see if I could win off my draw. Or maybe I was missing the second one. I just had another force in hand. Yeah, it was just another force in hand.
I think at this point I was out of gas. If you had another counter, that was going to be a no Oath turn. But instead, Atraxa took one for the team, and it was good enough.
Yep, I went I had the duress. That's what the card was. I had duress, and I was going, I could duress you, but I know you're going to get Atraxa going on here, and I think I can potentially win through that. Let's see what we hit, but it all depends on what Atraxa piles come up, because sometimes Atraxa goes, yeah, sure, this is nothing helpful, and sometimes it's, oh, nope, sorry. GG.
Sometimes Atraxa, you staple the draw step on, and it's a draw 7.
Yeah. Here we go with the mighty, mighty Oath. Here we go. Look at that. I was so happy there's 2 wastelands gone. I'm like, yes, keep removing those from the equation.
Or putting them into the equation.
Atraxa does not need to give you LD cards. It's good seeing a lightning bolt gone. That was encouraging.
I mean, this is definitely my favorite Atraxa deck I've ever played.
Yeah, it's so much more fun when you're not casting it.
Right.
You get all these
When you're
neat
doing
things.
cheater shit.
Time Walk. Yeah, the Time Walk was the kind of nail of, oh, no. You have Time Walk and Force. I'm in a lot of trouble.
This is also a deck that I think does the coolest shit with Time Walk sometimes.
Yeah.
Especially when it's like this, where it's Atraxa gets you the Time Walk so that you can smack with Atraxa and like untap yet again.
And even if you hadn't already gotten rid of an Atraxa to a Force of Will, get extra cards. Get that cycle going and keep the original. I think in the end here was the Time Walk, the Force of Will, the Tropical Island, the Mox Sapphire. Yes.
Yep.
That spelled a lot of trouble. A lot of trouble.
And then a draw for turn. It always feels like just such a fuck you on top of the card advantage of Atraxa.
Oh, as soon as you said draw for the turn, I'm like, oh yeah, there's that too.
Right.
Thanks.
Anyway, after I pick up these 5, how
There's
about
the Evil
6?
Wasteland too. Put all of my, well, fine, I'll just win next turn plans to complete kaputness. There was still the possibility if you didn't have the Wasteland that I play the Duress and Force of Will is all you got and go, woohoo! Again, totally gambling on you having the lower hand
so this
because I was
is-
already behind.
This is the Gaia's Blessing on
Yeah,
bottom.
Gaia's Blessing on bottom, Force
there
of
we
Will
go.
on top, draw the Force of Will. Yeah.
Wow.
This is why it's Preordain and not Ponder in this deck.
Yeah.
If that had been Ponder, that would have sucked.
Yeah.
And all right, here we go. Here's the nice little Time Walk. And just to teach me a lesson, I think you're going to eliminate my. Yep.
Well, because I'm about to shuffle my graveyard back into my library.
Yes, I didn't know this at this point. Was going, what on earth are you blowing? You have what? Why would you do that?
Yeah.
Oh.
Had just put that on the bottom, so I knew what was going to
Right.
happen here.
Right. Okay.
Then you take a nice look through the deck.
Yep. And the key to this was I wanted to know what was sideboarded in, so I could plan on whether or not I might need to do some sideboarding for game 3. And that was the whole reason of flipping through this deck is just, okay, what's different, what's in, what's out, just so it's clear.
So to clarify a quick point here of strategy, would it have been better to leave the Gaia's Blessing on top so that you don't reveal the entire deck?
We're in game 3.
2.
Yeah, you're right. We're in game 2. Yeah, one possibility is you don't do that, but my graveyard had so much good shit in it. It had 3 of the LD cards, and it had a lot of counter spells, and it had Time Walk.
Yep.
And I wanted to be able to draw those things again.
Fair.
Besides, I think people more or less know, what's going to be in a vintage deck in game 2. There's some stuff that can be different, but
Fair.
against that deck, in these colors, obviously, I'm just going to bring in counters of different varieties.
I'd say there's definitely situations where that is a strategic argument of the better play, but it's going to be cornerstone cases.
Sure.
All right. Me futilely thinking, well, I can still get out of this. Maybe there's a possibility because I haven't technically seen your hand yet to see how absolutely abusive it might be. And I will, all of you gentle viewers will get to see how abusively crafted this hand is. Just oofta.
Oath really got to do its thing in this game.
Yes. Atraxa doing its job of going, well, I'm protected. What about you?
Atraxa is the queen that protects itself.
That's a pretty good description. Oof. See, look at how high my life total is. I'm at 12. I can do so many things right now. There's the duress. Let me see the futility here.
I think I briefly thought about countering it, but yeah.
I'm like, oh,
Force Pyro.
right. Okay. I'm thinking through if there's any way possibly to fight out of this, and the numbers say no. I would have needed to still have had an extra mana source this turn to maybe fight out of it.
It's a wonderful thing when someone duresses you and then scoops.
A rarity, but a beautiful scenario.
It's a beautiful thing.
Oh, duress. I didn't cast a Thought Seize in either of these games, did I? Just
No.
duressed. I love training wheels on this deck. It feels so good.
That's all right. Never mind game 3.
All right. I chose not to sideboard anything in again.
I didn't change my sideboarding.
And there's going to be a bunch of shuffling. Magical choppies. There we go.
All right, we're off to the races.
This is my quick determination of I have an aggressive win hand. This is a very much hand where I have multiple force options and I can go for a turn 2, turn 3 type win plan. I'm going to just go for it. I'm on the play.
I had a pretty reasonable hand. I didn't feel good or bad about it. It was going to be good enough if your hand was like okay.
Knowing what I saw last game in your hand there, I'm like, the late game is a bit more difficult now. There's a lot of hate coming in.
Well, the beauty, too, of playing either of these decks is that on the other end of it, your opponent doesn't know what's in your hand most of the time, and they're going to play around things that maybe you don't have, because that might be the correct thing to do. It might not be, but it's just more opportunities for an opponent to make a mistake if you can, in one turn, do something devastating.
There's duress again. Something I'm a big fan of in this Doomsday build is I have not only Fluster Storming.
Go fuck yourself.
I honestly thought that's why it was going to occur, and it's why I did it in this order.
I only wish it could have been a Veil of Summer.
Oh, man. That has just been sick. So there's my Dark Ritual, and there's my Doomsday.
There's a Force, and there's a
Force back. I forced using a Force of Negation. Get rid of that silly thing.
And now we have a Doomsday pile.
Yes, and then we fast forward because this is a long...
This is a lot of me thinking and...
And then
this
fucking
is much
up
of the,
and then winning.
Yeah, this is much of the Doomsday game is This is the most important turn the Doomsday deck can have. All right, I flip through it, kind of pay attention.
And I definitely should have gone with the plan instead of Gush just putting in an extra land there into my stack of 5. Just flicking my singular. Hey, what's up, man? I got a card.
I am just desperately looking for counter magic.
Yep.
Down it goes, Precious.
Right. And like this is when the Doomsday player starts getting really confident when Preordain goes bottom.
Yeah, it's like, oh, right. There's that Mox Emerald you ended up drawing from the Preordain. Now that I did not think of Boseiju, and that's why it's
But
it's like I had a snowball's chance at this point.
Here's the question, though. Boseiju, Wasteland, both would be basically equal in this instance.
But I can plan better for Boseiju and have just put the land in. Like, that's the tipping point over. This is just the better choice. Does that make sense? Like, I expected there was going to be a Wasteland in this situation, but there could have been multiple. And it was like, no, I want to go for winning on it. So I'm going to have the Lotus.
Okay. I was going to say, if I remember correctly, you put a Gush in here, but not another land. So it wasn't prepped for Wasteland, was it?
No, I wasn't concerned about the Wasteland because I had the Lotus.
Gotcha. But it shuts Gush off.
Yep. And I was thinking more along the lines of, oh, okay, well.
So was the mistake that Gush wasn't the 5th card as opposed to the 4th?
Just Gush being in the pile, I should have gone ahead and tossed it out. The whole reasoning being, if the Wasteland's better going into my upkeep and popping things, because then the Force of Negation is live on my turn when it's not. That was kind of that was the thoughts. And it was the wrong thoughts.
Fair enough. And then this Preordain gave me a gamble. It was Narset that I put on top, and LD for right there.
But now I was like, oh, okay. Well, I know exactly what I'm doing with my whole 1 card in hand. Or 1 card in my library, which that is my Thassa. There's my Lotus.
Lotus crack, Thassa with Fluster and Forcible backup.
Yep.
Nothing.
That's it.
There it is. There's Doomsday versus Oath. Don't think I learned much. I think I learned what I've been suspecting this whole time, that Minsc and Boo probably doesn't belong in this deck.
Agreed.
We haven't seen a matchup yet that it is included with the intention of facing. But, we're only one loss, so we're going to see at least another match here.
Oh, yeah.
There we go.
Alrighty.
Anything to add, or is that it?
I think that's it. Doomsday continues to be a strong deck. Just a lot of thinking.
Yeah.
Good litmus test on the format.
Yeah. Do death sticks, rethink your life.
Peace.
Goodbye.